Amasan tami YouTube channel en tu te zo sia na bonon chipai tunai hing holim video hi le Tangval Vincent Soilemthang Vaiphei ama hi Eimite adinga tunaya Indian Police Service hinggial tua training zowa Assam Meghalaya kedara join hiya tuin ama to ama hin khwa laisim na UPSC exam adiang kisa holdan le ama in sung hin khwa ama mimal tan chin chi te tuin ama to ki houlimna ngai vai ki pau me Vincent tu ni nang to ki ho thei dinga mo 2024 kuma der tu naina ki muwa tua nang training saita tua 3 star jong hita IPS officer Eimite adinga kine pium ta ki pa wai tu ni nang to ki ho thei dinga im ziain masan pasian ko ki pa thu tun vai mo in Vincent nang just tell me something about yourself. It means your background, your family background.
Amasa pela kumthak jibai
Kumthak jibai.
Also la YouTube channels and viewers te zo se kumthak jibai salam kong boke kamin cho hi le la het sau hi taw Vincent Soilemthang Vaiphei hi to 2023 hi UPSC exam conduct kha exam UPSC exam ka 619 rank kamu IPS investment kamu ka educational background hi le ke zonai kiti Dhemali district Assam hi mun khatoma je taka chu mission school khatoma Zubli Model High School je taka chu KZ no pat kong sima Paul something zonai Zubli Model School ting kong in kong sima azo metric kong pasa azo class 12 le zonai junior science college kiti khatoma je taka chu science in class 11 and 12 kong zoa aba na chu Guwahati akong Sukhaya also 2019 khan Guwahati Cotton University zoology major khan bangkhat kazawa graduation kazawa tikhai the brief educational background also changle kabrot of namunhi lahat taksa go lahin it's all in outside Assam hi zika changle no ka language issue le ka face ka mi language hilale kan le ka thei hamin kazil to zela tuile kazil lai takti neu khat changle paule hama neu khat again khil tivel umle viewers ten hungai thim digen kaging chai
He poilo tu lai gam to mam te chu ha mix le zo min chin mo mo Vincent nang na family background your mom and your dad neu khat ge no
kapai ahi le tu zonaya missionary ala sema kumtam tak tu ama hi 2017 retire tu chu Guwahati oma kanule mission school kha bang hem 4th grade work ti hovel asema amale tu lai chu sem talawa Guwahati phathi family as unau pali ka hiwa alin pen chu ile ka unu hi ama chu kicheng ta azo chu posal pani ka u te khat pakhat chu CRPF ka oma khat chu nule pa to Guwahati tu lai ta komai
nang aneu pen mo unaw la
aneu pen
nanu le na pa ania vai phei tho mo ei mi moi lo le anything
kapa chu Vaiphei hi kanu chu hi le Assam Boro tribe kiti Boro tre hi
tu masanga episode masa Bodo Liberation Tiger Bodo te Territorial Council chivel jong kana cover khain chin hu cha nang neu khat ale nang fu mix no vai phela bang te na peu
aswan takte
swan tak do mul te mo okay ale mo Vincent nang UPSC nang bola hu is this your choice or you got it because of your rank
service
IPS ku na em mo
okay
or
okay before we go to interview, we have to fill a detailed application form regarding the service preference. Is a key. It's a part of different services, including all India service, and then the central Group A services and Group B services. But we have to give our preferences, and then based on that and based on our ranking, we are allotted different services here. And then the Indian Administrative Service was my first choice, as Indian Police Service was my second choice, as of Indian Audit Account Service was my third choice, and then Indian Revenue Service to well here. Service job here. And then due to my rank, I got into the Indian Police Service here. So I came a bit of luck, a bit of destiny. So it's a mix of everything that I somehow come into this service.
Nanga, which attempt was this?
Mm.
First attempt, second attempt?
It was my third attempt. Since 2020, exam copy here. And in 2020, I cleared prelims, but I could not clear mains. Yeah. And then in 2021, I went till the interview stage, but I could not make it to the final list. 2021 attempt. And then 2022 attempt, somehow by God's grace, I could make into the final list and get into the service.
Coaching na nalakay?
Coaching to hile tulai ihet gola bangtigul gandhi classroom coaching or full-fledged coaching to kalapu. But I did use coaching materials to well online tulai coaching materials yo well tam ki order te and so I used the materials, and then mock test ativa mock test tina to hile just a simulation of the actual exam well, in which you solve certain questions which are somewhat similar with the question pattern of the exam. And all of these are prepared by the coaching institutes. So I use them. So all of that really helped me in, I think, in sharpening my skill to clear this exam.
Nagyan to actual coaching, either online or classroom na lakalaw mo. But study material so anasim mo.
Study material so kalaga.
Ale, bang subject na lay na optional la.
Optional anthropology kalaki. I took anthropology as my optional. And I think it is because of anthropology also that I could make it to the list in my third attempt. Because Kamakha, it was good enough, so I could clear the exam. I feel that anthropology played a great role in my exam as well.
Graduation na anthropology subject na lakha mo ilole altogether new subject for you.
Graduation of zoology kala. Zoology, when I try to prepare for UPSC with zoology as my optional, materials ka zoology because very less people take zoology as the optional. The next best subject for me will be either agriculture or anthropology here. And then I compared it, and then anthropology, somewhat it has very much similarities with zoology. For example, physical anthropology part it has a large part of it is about biology, the evolution, or biological everything. So it gave me a good background for anthropology. And then anthropology, the second part is about social anthropology and about tribal anthropology. And somewhere me northeastern but the tribal anthropology we feel it very easier to connect. And then I feel that and then I feel that if I take this optional, somewhere or the other, originality can be reflected in my answers through the examples which I'll give or through the approach in my answers. And so I also try to modify my answers in such a way uh, in which more or less the examiner feel that I really know this subject. So I think I try to invest in this aspect, and I think it rewarded me.
So, civil service was your childhood dream mo ilole. Have you ever appeared for any other exam in between?
No, honestly, Gandhi, to civil service, to childhood dream, to hipo, because we are born and brought up in a village environment, here, and then civil service. Ku malaki mukalo role model ding ale ku malaki hello, and then tula internet tivel kale umlo hi zilaya ka. So bang male ki hello he azo kha we hear that he cleared examination UPSC he or she got, but we don't have any structured approach or how to approach. We don't know whom to contact. Also, we don't have any contact. So it wasn't a dream, to be honest, initially. When I came to Guwahati,
Hmm.
Zila Kaloite tam takhan, they start preparing for the Assam Public Service Commission Guwahati akha. So from here, there I
Hmm.
got exposed. As of 2017, TV like college ka simla ka, we got the internet revolution. Means the cost of data becomes much less because of the introduction of Geo. So
Hmm.
at that time, there was an explosion of all of these YouTube channels who are offering UPSC coachings, toppers interview. So I began to see all of those, and somewhere during my college days, I began to slowly form motivations for that. So I think it was not a childhood dream, but it was a dream which evolved with time, and then
Okay.
so it's
Okay.
yeah.
Now, tell us something about your educational background, starting from matriculation. Metric. What was your result in metric, class 10, 12, and graduation? Are you ni chanang lekha na siam mong moi lo le graduation zo wai khan ki pan tha kit mo chidan mo.
Lekha chu pathian zala chu I have been a good student all of my life.
Class 10 na bagzar na zo wai.
Class 10 percentage chu kahe milta. I think it was 80 plus to he in kahe as also it, and then 12 fell like 80 plus to ito in kahe. So, but I think to be honest, nothing of that mattered in the civil service examinations. I think many friends of me who were better than me in college or even in my high secondary who are still not getting a job means for some reason means I don't doubt their capability but for some reason. So I think competitive exam preparations and schools and then all of those are quite different. So it's a quite different. So I think the approach is a bit different.
Yeah, approach could be different, but then someone who has been a good student throughout, at least they'll have
Mm.
a strong background. Si khanum male.
Mm.
At least
And
that
then
background,
background
consistencies.
what I'd like to highlight here that instead of background that the discipline which you develop since
Hmm.
your early childhood, the discipline of uh, coming out of your comfort zone and
Hmm.
then doing what you don't what you know is hard. Because
Hmm.
even being a good student, bringing good marks in your matriculations or 12, for that you have to come out of your comfort zone and do something. You have to study. You have to learn the habit of sitting and then imagining and then writing things. So all of those discipline and soft skills which develop during your formative years, I think it plays a great role in while you prepare for all of the civil service examinations or any other competitive examinations as well.
Ale nang atang pin mo. Ni khan da
Mm.
kalbang sa le khan na si may ne preparation stage line.
So I think favorite question here, interviewers, how much did you study here? Uh, I think competitive exam like there's seasons in competitive exam. For example, 1 week before the exam, the
Hmm.
preparation kibang here compared to 3 months before the exam. So more or less, but at least 8 to 10 hours of regular study is required, I believe. Concentrated and then focused study is required because I know it's difficult or it's not normal, but you can't help the examination is like that. And to like competitive exam, so see to go later. If you really are not disciplined and if you don't dedicate your time, then I think it's very difficult to make it to the final list.
Ale cha first attempt ading in mo. How much time it takes for you to cover the syllabus?
Uh, okay, 2019 July ka graduate and then 2019 July pat ka graduation ka pan I start preparing for UPSC
Hmm.
focusedly and then 2020 October uh, I appeared for my first prelims because that year due to COVID. the exam was postponed from May to October. So I think somehow I was lucky, because if had the exam be conducted in May, I don't think I would have cleared. So it took me around 14 months to clear the entire syllabus before I set for my first attempt.
14 months,
They kind of,
including prelims and mains, mo?
yeah, including prelims and mains. Yes, yes.
Mm.
So timing is it's different for everybody. Some people it for them it might take shorter. For some people it might take longer. So it all
Mm.
depends on different people's capacity and their ability to how much time they can dedicate per day to the subject. And then I think what I have seen from since I have completed my training, I have got the opportunity to interact with many people who have cleared this exam. So I
Mm.
feel that uh, first attempt doesn't mean that person has studied just for 1 year. That person might be giving his first attempt, but more or less that person might have been preparing for the last 2 3 years minimum. Because Tulai, if you see cities, example Delhi or Hyderabad, Tivela, there's good exposure of all of these civil service or any competitive exams. So people since their graduation days, since the first semester, they start preparing for all of this. So by the time they graduate, and then they give dedicated study for 1 year for the competitive exams, and then they appear their first attempt. But by the time they appear their first attempt, they would have studied the syllabus for the last 2 3 years. So, so I think for any competitive exams, I think it really takes more than 1 year for you to prepare it properly and to be able to clear it.
So, when it comes to attempts, mo,
Mm.
general te who I think they have limited attempts, limited number of
There,
attempts, mole.
General
So,
Tiading too, they have 6 attempt maximum, and then their age limit is 32.
immediately
Within
also
32.
unlimited attempts. So even without
And
preparation,
unlimited
someone will
attempts.
just fill up the form and then will just appear the just for trial basis. Chidan mole.
Dikhaiye.
Nang
So we have that luxury to do that, huh?
nang ako mo nang first attempt who after that much of preparation, first
Mm.
attempt also prelims na true ngal mo.
Yeah. Prelims ka
So
true, mains ka pass now. First attempt.
what do you feel? What comes to your mind? That first attempt of prelims ki clear to okay. Do you think that that builds up your confidence?
Definitely, if clearing prelims, because more or less prelims, meetam takipaita, maximum number of applicants are being thrown out in prelims. Yeah.
Mm.
And then prelims is a huge part of prelims is a game of luck here, because uh, option A tick the lie, if we circle option B, that means it's wrong, and in fact you will get negative mark for that
Yeah,
also.
negative.
So it's
Mm.
so a huge thing is about, and then mains actually it's descriptive. So even if you don't know the exact pinpoint answer, you can somehow manipulate or you can somehow adjust, even if you don't know. Okay, but in prelims, either you know or don't know. Okay. So clearing the prelims in the first attempt is a huge booster for me. It was a huge booster for me. And then more or less what happened is that UPSC interview zone is very lonely, because
Mm.
you have been studying, because more or less society TV activities also uh, automatically you cut off, because you are studying for the last 8 hours 10 hours per day, and then your mental frame is in a different zone. And
Mm.
then iloite to i-discuss le i topic ka to ama topic ka akibang tangay lo. So
Mm.
discussion o kala tu itak tak theta lo tikha isake, because you're in a different mental frame tikha isake, so automatically you get lonely at times also here. So once you clear prelims, what happens is that you get a social acceptance also, that really you are doing something and you're getting result for that also. So even if I did not clear mains, it gave me a booster, and then people encouraged me for the subsequent attempt here. So it was a big achievement for me in my entire journey.
Ale first ite ma mens na clear zolo hu bang zia
Mm,
bang zia in nakit nang le nang gyal dana mo.
mm. Firstly, mains here, it's about descriptive writing here.
Mm.
So factors tam tak number one is time management is you have to try to solve write the maximum number of answer here. Number two is uh number two is content lay thobi because I was still early in my career. As I said, first attempt in just 1 year of preparation hipo.
Mm.
People have been preparing for that for the last 2 3 years or even more than that before they even sit for their first attempt. So by the time when I set for my first mains, it was just around 16 months into my preparation. So content khalane ko tom devin cooking sa. And then thirdly, uh, writing skill khalane ko tom deva because writing is not just about just giving information. It's a lot about connecting synchronization of the answer tikham sakhi. So all of those writing skill I feel it was lacking in my first attempt, which I
Then
tried to make it in my subsequent attempts.
how do you restart for the second attempt? You start
Mm.
altogether from scratch, or you just go for a revision kind of thing?
Prelims kacho, since I cleared in my first, it was just a revision kind of thing here. And then for the
Mm.
mains, it was totally, I went for, I saw my mark sheet of my mains, and then I thought that just revision was not enough. Restructuring of the entire preparation was required in Kamo. So I began to build number one on my content, and number two, I try to work on my writing skills because I think writing skill is very important because I know that I know, but the examiner doesn't know that I know. So I have to learn to communicate what I know to the examiner. दिखाई सके. Hmm. So for the writing skill is very important. Number one was time management. Time management because approximately you have to write around 2,500 words within within 3 hours. That also you can't just read the thing because the question of direct it was indirect, so you have to think, you have to somehow manage, and at the same time you have to try to attempt all the question. ठीक है इसके. So all of those are it comes for all of those a big part of it comes to writing skill. So writing skill development what I have mm, heard from other topper is that to develop writing skill you have to start writing. ठीक है. So you have to keep on writing. So Zikaya. So I try to give more mock test. So all of those, and then there's certain aspects of answer writing. For example, presentation is a key, and then proper data, diagrams, and then synchronizations of the introductions with the conclusions. Tihovelga is a key. So I try to work on all of those.
Do you think quick writing helps?
Definitely, definitely. Because quick writing hardly when you are able to write quickly. Number two, number one is that you are able to attempt all the questions, and then if you are able to write fast, that means you are reducing your time on writing. That means you can save the extra time on thinking.
Mm-mm.
Because apart from writing, you have to think also in the examination hall. So, and then if you just write also, it's enough because you have to give the answer should have apart from the apart from the quantity of words, there have to be quality of words as well. What you are saying should not be something just you're just writing. So you can save all of those time on thinking. So I think it helps a lot with writing.
Kun mo UPSC when it
Hmm.
comes to the mains more examiner take win. Do you think they read all the answers, or they just see the way of answering and then they just give marks? How do you think?
As here too, I don't think, by God's grace, if I happen to somehow sit in UPSC member someday, then only I think I'll know
No, it's
what's
just
the
because
secret.
nagyalda na mo the
Uh,
way from the way you attempt, because
mm,
you did not clear in the first attempt, you did not clear mains in the
mm,
first attempt. So was that because of your writing, because of your answer structure, or was that
mm.
because you cannot complete all the answer questions?
Ah, apa ni kahi? Number one was first attempt I could not complete all the answers in almost most of the subject kahi. And then secondly was increasing the quality of answers. And to increase the quality of answers, number one was content. And then so during the uh, time which I got, I start working on getting more content. ठीक है. And then number three was presentation. ठीक है. For presentation, having more diagrams, flow charts, pie charts, histograms, so it increased the presentations and the quality of the answers here. So I worked on that. So it was a whole 360-degree approach, not just a single approach. So it was that increasing the number of attempts, at the same time increasing the quality of attempts, not just the quantity. So I think I try to improve on both of that.
So Hichat UPSC ki prepare na dingin mo.
Mm.
Sumle pai ne yang ai nang gyal danin.
Mm. To be honest, if you have money, then the journey becomes easier, I think. To be honest, but even if you don't have money, I think it's possible. People have done it. It's not
Lo
that
to
people haven't done.
like online
Uh,
study material te nang aku
exactly. Tivel ka. So
free
they're good,
study material mo
affordable.
ilo na
Ha.
purchase mo na nga.
Mm. Example two. Mm, there are lots of free study available materials. See, and then example two bang. For example, Vision IAS develop here. If you try to take a full coaching, I think to like to 1.5 develop no it's the point. Just for GS coaching. But the same coaching materials, I think you can easily find it in some markets or even in Flipkarts, Amazons, in few thousand rupees. For example, less than 10,000 rupees. You can work on all of those GS coachings and all. So all of those, I think if you really put your mind and then study, especially for the GS papers, I don't think it's rocket science. Simple, it's simple, basic things are coming, especially for the GS part. So I think you can work instead of taking coachings. For example, 2017 topper Anudeep Duruseti, or even 2020 topper Subham Kumar. I just followed till then because after that I didn't follow it again because I didn't was not associated with the exams after 2022. So again, they also say that I didn't take any kinds of general study coaching Kalapuwe, or the general study coaching which I took did not help me, they say. So it was from the topper's mouth itself. So I don't think you need to take all of those. If you are really interested, then you can buy all of those coaching materials which are freely available. And there are lots of YouTube channels free, and in fact, it is becoming too much. You can get from anywhere. So you can work on all of those by yourself.
Nang gyal danin mo Vincent coaching te
Hmm.
who what they are doing basically, like are they giving ready to eat food, or they are structuring the syllabus, or they are just giving a guidance? What is that?
I think mm, uh, it's difficult to say, but I think they're just giving you a brief, just the outline and the structures of how you should study or how you should prepare. I think they just show you because even in coaching, those who have taken coaching also, many of them have said the same thing, that in coaching, because for example, in many reputed coachings, there are hundreds of students, and no teachers can give any adequate time to any single one of them. So it's just a brief outline of how they should study or what was the previous trend of how the questions came. So uh, it doesn't give you ready to eat food as well. They just give you some raw materials, and then you have to increase the raw materials. You have to process it, and then you have to bring many other raw materials from different sources as well. And then just imagine that. mm, in any coaching institute, for example, reputed, for example, Vision IAS, there are tens of thousands of students which are studying online and offline in all of those. And some all of them are getting the same materials. So all of them are getting the same materials and all of them are studying, but hardly just hundreds of students from them clear. So the material is not enough. So you'll have to work on it. You have to put your own independent thinking, and then you have to do your own research apart from all of those materials which you get.
Hey, Lemo, Vincent, do you think this by heart system works, or just understanding the concept? Because I'm more into by heart since
By
schooling
heart too,
days.
I think apa ni apa mo by heart, for example, data sti well apa mo what was the GDP of our country last year, or uh, what was the position of our country in the gross happiness index in the last year. Welka some factual data chom thohi. But more or less, even if you don't know all of those, approximation khale it does work. So it's more about understanding the concept and then applying those concepts relevant to what is being asked. So because
Okay.
UPSC questions will be changing with every year, and then you cannot really prepare for what they come. You can just prepare the topic here. For example, India-Russia relation here. So you can just prepare the overall. But out of because India-Russia relation department, so there will be very various dimensions. For example, defense agreement department, oil economic oil purchases, like geopolitical issues. You can just understand a brief of the relationship between Russia and Ukraine, but you cannot exactly by heart it. So understanding the overall framework, I think is more important.
Okay. Na second item aku men's na clear mo.
Men's clear. I went to my interview. I went for my interview.
So then men's na clear zo mo. How do you prepare for the interview? And what was the time gap? The declaration of the men's result and the date of interview. What was the time gap and how do you prepare in that duration?
Uh, Generally, I think it was approximately 2 months. Steve, here. So
Mm.
um, men's paso he uh, before interview detailed application form ati DAF ati wa zeda ka ki fill up seke
Mm.
and then detailed application form he various data regarding your background, education background, your hobbies, and your preference, everything is being given in the detailed application form. And then generally the preparation is based on the detailed application form is again. So everything related, for example, my hobbies, the Hovelka, I tried to work on all those, knowing every aspect of my hobbies. And then secondly, newspaper reading, Tika Poemoseka, because current affairs, knowledge of what is going around the country and the world. The Hovelka
Mm.
Poemoseka. So I prepared in all of those aspects. And then overall, most important thing is that personality kaisake, because UPSC here, I don't personal uh, interview T umpo in the entire scheme of UPSC syllabus. They rather call it personality test. Uh, so it's more about personality test is here. So it's how you project who you are, and then how you handle even if you don't know what they ask. I think that matter most, I guess.
Tun mo nang from your experience mo hi ema ATL ki houlimna i discuss na
Mm,
pada student someone who want to learn something from you mo
mm,
keeping them in mind, tell
mm.
in brief about your interview, how you go about it, and what others should learn from you.
Ah. Interview number one is that personality hipoimo. So tulaya now pangtezo si adding not just for civil service, no, for any kind of competitive exam, corporate level, Eimite, or starting your own business or entrepreneurship level. Tulaya kovela poimo pen to the soft skill here, how you talk, how you how you talk, because just like writing, even making a speech is a art which you have to learn. So I think I think since the formative years now pangte ho ziho is it that mama how we talk, how we present, how we carry our own body when we stand in front of people. Tiho ha mo ikete. So I think everyone, irrespective of what we are doing or what we are trying to prepare for, I think soft skill is something which we should learn for. And then secondly, um, for all the viewers like Towie and then for everyone here, for example, UPSC preparation later for anything. Motivation doesn't last long here, and then motivation will just last for a few hours or for a few days if you're lucky enough. Yeah. So
You
after
mean outside
motivation,
motivation or
I
self
think both.
motivation too?
I think both. I think motivation it lasts very short here. So what is more important than motivation? I think is discipline here. For example, even if you don't want to do, you do it. Somewhere, kuem khat athletic, I think Olympic gold medalist, ama interview ka kamu amin ka kahimilta. Ama kana giyanile. I don't feel motivated to wake up 4 a.m. every day and do what I want to do. But I started playing this sport because I was motivated to play this sport. But when I try to convert my motivation into something professional, because passion and profession are something which is very different. Passion means just in the nick of the time when you want to do, you do it and then it's over. It's okay. But if you want to convert that passion into your profession, you need to give something extra. It's okay. And to give that something extra is what is more difficult. For example, playing a guitar just for passion and singing one two song is very easy. But if you want to convert playing a guitar into your profession, it's very difficult. It's okay. You have to really invest time in it. So if you want to convert that into your profession, apart from the motivation, you have to have something called discipline. Because discipline is something which will require, and discipline is not easy. It's okay. So I think for everyone out there, motivation, if it is there, it's well and good, and it's very happy. I'm very happy for you. But more than that, I think you should, what you need to strive more for is discipline, because discipline is something which will last longer than motivation.
But during your course of preparation, there must be a time when you feel like giving up. What do
Yeah,
you think is
true.
something that always pull you up?
Uh, the so that's what exactly what I just said about discipline and motivation. And number one, discipline is required. देखा है. And then it all boils down to why you start preparing for UPSC here. Why you want to do it, despite you knowing that it's difficult. देखा है. So there are various reasons. Number one is that UPSC. Once I started to know about UPSC, I really wanted to come into service because number one is that it gives you a social recognition. It gives you some kind of social status. Yeah, once you clear the exam. And then, secondly, it also gives you the opportunity to work with some of the best minds and sometimes even the most powerful peoples in your country or in your state or in your district. So it gives you that connection. So that is also one of the motivations, and that hardly it makes your parents and your community also proud. So all of those, and then also uh, once you clear the exam, it also gives you a decent amount of financial security through which you can fulfill your basic needs. So all of those worked as a motivation for me.
Okay. Well,
Mm.
after you finish your interview in your second attempt, what was your expectations?
Uh, yeah, it was a very heartbreaking expectation, Tekha. Hey, I still remember interview Kazawa, and then I think my interview result came out. Second interview result came out at September 28, I guess, September 28 or 29. My
Hmm.
interview result came, and then I did not clear. So it was Monday. I still remember. It was Monday, and then I could not make it to the final list. It was Monday, and just the coming Sunday, just after 5 days, I have my prelims for my third attempt. Tika hai. So it was a quite challenging moment for me those 1 week, because uh, you just couldn't make it to the final list, and then just after 4 5 days you have to sit for the prelims, and then you have to start the entire process from the ground zero again. Tika hai. So somehow I could hold on, and then while I was writing for my third prelims also, I was really, to be honest, demotivated. And I just somehow went, and then uh, I set for my third attempt, and then I wrote it. And then after I clear my third attempt, I mean my third prelim, then my confidence got boosted, and then I really gave my 100% on clearing for the mains in my third attempt.
Na second attempt mo, na second
Mm.
attempt na fail na ako bang siya eh. Nang makigel nang magelda na mo. Was it
Mm.
because of the less marks in written, or was it because of the interview part, personality test
I
part?
think interview in my second in my it was, I think, a combination of both. Interview I got average, not that bad. I got average, and then
Hmm.
mains I think I did not do that well, but it was better. I think in the first attempt, in comparison to my first attempt, I improved by around 30 40 marks. So it was a huge improvement in comparison to my first attempt. I increased my mark by 30 or 40 marks. I don't exactly remember it. So it was a huge leap for me in comparison to my first attempt, but it was somehow not enough to make it into the final list. So I put more pressure in my third attempt to
So
increase
third
my
attempt
mark.
was a kind of easy going, or still you struggle a lot.
Easy going to Ompo. Every attempt is a new attempt here. So every attempt, it's a new attempt
UPSC
here
TMO,
because
every time everyone tells that every time is a new
exactly.
attempt.
Every attempt is new attempt here. So it was not easy. Kabola, and then I focused specifically on certain areas. Example in my essay writing, and then in my optional paper as well. So I tried to work on that, and then it paid me well. For in my optional, I think I increased my marks by around 30. I think it was around 35 marks I increased in my second in my uh, third attempt, and then luckily, and then my mains mark was good in my third attempt. For example, I think general cutoff was around 740 something, and then I 740 or 755 or something. But I came in the general cutoff, I think, in my third attempt in the mains interview, in the mains preparation, in the mains cutoff. And then my interview mark also become, it was average again in my third attempt. So I got 619 rank.
Mark bangza del mu bele chin IS mu din ki king tai.
Mark, I think it was 11 marks.
11 marks sort of IS.
Yes, 11 marks, yes.
Ale, now that you are IPS officer, mo, you have
Yes.
completed your training. Do you ever think of reappearing to get IS, or you feel that enough is enough now?
Third attempt, Zoha, after my result came out, I can set for my fourth attempt. I
Okay.
set for my fourth attempt, and then I even cleared my prelims here in my fourth attempt. So I cleared prelims 4 times continuously. So after I cleared prelims, but I did not. I got the opportunity to sit mains, but I did not sit further because I went for my training of foundation course in La Paz line, Missouri. So I did not sit for my fourth attempt anymore. So I think I'm the few person who will be leaving this exam with a good note. That I did not end this journey with a failure. I ended this journey with I passed my prelims, and but still I did not sit for my mains due to some personal reason. So I did not sit for my mains, and so as of now I don't have any plans further to sit for other attempts.
Ale, kipa why Vincent very motivating and very thrilling experience mo hinjin
Mm,
tu neu khat nang ma personal life ang lu ni lan study is okay le khasim chu
mm,
ngeng di some will get
mm,
motivated, some will fall apart, some will
mm,
fall by the road chide mo
mm,
mi tampi
mm,
lungke ding, but the future belongs to those who are willing to work for it. No.
mm, mm,
Or
mm,
success is the fruit of labor. Fruit of labor. Ano mention? Ale tu now
mm,
let's come to your private life,
mm.
personal life. Kung baza na itay tun,
28 or 27.
27 years.
Uh,
27 years. Then and still bachelor. No.
still a bachelor.
Tua okay. Tua na napian mo.
Mm.
Tua family quarter na mo ilo le family tua nang government quarter na mo ilo le family to no mo.
Okay, government quarter Koma, I have my residence here. To Udalguri district, Assam ka posting. Family quarter, Mahilale,
Kasi
Assam, my
family to
family
no
comes
mo
to.
ilo single ano.
To it, single ko Mahilale, my family frequently comes to visit me.
Na andia la ko ina Juan.
Bakat Sarkarin, unhounded yung pay. There are two
Acha.
orderlies for that.
Alam mo, Vincent, nang kubang bangyan na keder.
Some Meghalaya cadre.
Was it your choice or by default or something? Bang sida
I
na
think,
mukha eh.
Zikuma here, the vacancy was some Meghalaya cadre vacancy, Oma. And so it was in my preference as well. Jika I got Assam Meghalaya cadre.
Oh, ibe Assam Meghalaya nang musu Assam Meghalaya ngum ni chena Eimite kani sumer bolte tampi pan kitwa pi the le police te namat le te ne kan kitwa pi le the di ki pa wai ve ale tun mo na mabana mo bang chi vel se jinei din agele
So I think as times take the na he I think you will be the first one among the first one whom I'll send an invitation.
invitation to amia nang de dan mo Vincent
Ah,
just ami zoom nai lo but then bang te bang choice na de e mi lam moi lo le any mu moi lo le ko le vai le jong kho lo chi dan nang ma personal mo
mm.
bang lunggen na ni e
Ah, Lungia, Kangaida na Tsuile. I think all of these are secondary. More the basic thing is that, especially for me, number one is that someone who understands you, tika poimo. And then secondly, uh, the nature of my job, tihilene of hectic is okay. It's sometimes difficult to give enough family time, or just like some other normal family going on outings during weekends. Hindi ako kadahaksa, especially during the initial years of my career. Hindi ako kadahaksa sa case. So someone who understands your job profile,
then to
so
everyone
anyone,
will understand
huh?
IPS officer GD to everyone will understand but kay kang do dan chumo mga vai phete news velum cha lanam soi sangin chi harum le mo
Uh,
lanam soi sangin adi ako kolle vai te na nei di mo lo e mi mama na nei di mo ang theisiam kol tian jong theisiam di English yang theisiam di e mi tian jong theisiam di but nang choice
mm,
na zidi nga mo na hin na dam songa
mm,
na zidi nga na choice ko
mm.
bang mi ba
Ah,
koi lam deu
Zichu, I think Amy Lam Deo Chui Le Chu Ahoya, Amy Lam Deo in Amy Lam hitting in hit hitting in ke le ka ke guanga ka ke ngai to tima. So I think we it in the right time. I think you'll know it.
e mi lam din koi ni lan YouTube channel an en kha candidate uten noi comment section na comment section na comment din koi da vai mo tun mo abana bange tua what is your appointment right now hoi tenga no ma bang appointment na tuai
To he presently as DPO Sub-Divisional Police Officer Renga Koma. I'm in my first year of independent church. I finished my training July Thaga Kazawa. To he this is my first posting Sub-Divisional Police Officer in Koma. Udalguri District, Assam, Northern Assam Division of Koma to like the care.
no IPS de khuna promotion khu unlike army no wa chu rocket banga ki khome lo mo bang
Yeah,
what
so can
when is your next promotion due and na promotion khu nang ma according nang ma calculate danin mo
mm,
next bang ji na promote the next tell me up to 3 promotion in time wise
okay.
when is it likely
Promotion rules tihi Ministry of Home Affairs in properly guidelines in yeah. So promotion for example since your training in the third year of your service you have to be given additional rank ठीक है ये, at least till your third year of service, and then in the fourth year of service you are to be given SP rank ठीक है ये. SP rank divided like 1 star and then 1 right, and then depending on the
lieutenant
state.
colonel mo
Mm, ha, Lieutenant Governor, ha. So depending on the states, they can have a variation of, for example, to Manipur, Rajasthan, they were in the fourth year of service, they have been given SP or even Lieutenant Colonel rank. But states, for example,
40
in
years
Assam,
40 years of service
4 years. In a state like Manipur, Tripura, Tivel, Nagaland, and then even in Rajasthan, Tivel, Museko in the fourth year of service, they get the rank of SP. But Assam, Tivela, Assam, UP, West Bengal, it takes 1 more year. So in the fifth year of service, we are given the SP rank in Assam.
so when is your next promotion due when will you become that major equivalent
Next year, January.
so fast you are like a uh, bullet train. No, by mandatory exam lo mo it's a next promotion idea. It comes on its own mo.
It comes on its own. There's no promotional exam for that.
Next year no bang ni chwe SP mo DSP mo. Wana sok.
Additional SP katisakwe.
Additional SP. Then 2027 additional SP mo. Abana SP chet bang chita na hidi.
28 January. 1 year.
2028.
One
This
year
is 1
after
year.
additional rank.
And when how about the next one SSP?
SSP is in the 13th year of services. Okay, since you're
Okay.
since you're joining that for training, okay. So kahi
Promotion through.
2023 January is join kahi so SSP rank to 2036 January kahi di damna.
Let's hope by the time you become additional SP, I will get the invitation. Chỉ mo
Definitely.
kipa hoy Vincent atom na dingin mo
Ah,
na success mo na success who credit ko man na pe ud way. To whom do you want to dedicate your success?
Preparation is sour. It was around 4 5 years, and then many people come along to help me, both emotionally or in terms of my preparations or in terms of finances as well. So if I will take each person name, then it will be very long. But more or less, the crux is that I think it's my parents who really sacrificed the most in the entire preparation. So I think a big part of what I am today goes to them.
Okay. Tu mo last lama khandong bening lan na preparation sungin how do you take a break? Or do you continue studying throughout or you take occasional intermittent break? Study break. How do you hang
Okay,
out?
okay. Okay, I hang out. Kaya ka preparation like silong ako silong apat ka preparation ka bola. So generally zinka lapat since I wake up and I was alone, so I used to cook myself. So I was alone. I took a rented house, so I cook myself. Is okay. So in the morning you cook breakfast, in the day you cook lunch. So all of those are the break. Were the you know. Free time is okay, and then evening I try to make a point at least to go for a walk. Also walking at the grocery ti ho well made ho apoy mo hole kaung to seka. So all of those was the breakout, and then sometimes I used to go to church as well, Sunday service ti ho well. So the hole breakout, and then it refreshes the mind also. Ti ho is okay. So I think it's important because Zoni, it's not a 1 month, it is years. So you need to maintain your mental uh, health as well, if I say. So taking small breaks in between, going to church, kilole, doing some basic stuff which you enjoy. For example, listening to the
Charles
music.
Belzo na kaisiel mo nang preparation laya.
Hilale ka preparation la COVID hun alahi 2020 21 tivela it was a total shutdown for the church as well tio kaisake. So but as much as possible church aki hong pala choke kansi saka.
Vincent, last nothing in more. Just a
Mm,
short advice,
mm.
for the aspirant, civil service aspirant. Your short and last advice for the viewers.
Uh, for all those aspirants of UPSC or any competitive exam, again, just like I said earlier, for any exam, the competition is really tough out there because I myself have been in your shoes appearing for that exam without any such certainty of whether you will clear it or not. So it's really tough. It's lonely at times as well. So what I want to say is that don't lose hope. Please keep on doing good, keep on studying, and then not just studying, try to increase your knowledge, try to identify what are your weaknesses because each of our weaknesses are different. So try to identify your weaknesses and try to work specifically on your weaknesses. Yeah. And then most importantly ahil chui like what I said even earlier discipline and motivation ti hi motivation even the video like zo ile ne kat motivation umai te hi but it will just last for a few hours or a few days. After that you'll have to be disciplined, and then you have to know that you are studying for yourself. If you clear the exam, you are the one who will be the biggest beneficiary of it. Or if you don't clear, you will be the biggest loser of it. So it is yours. It is your struggle. So please make it your own struggle, and then try to give as much as time as possible. Okay. And then uh, UPSC exam ka clear, so I feel that I have to give something back to the other aspirants. So after I cleared Telegram channel kat kasi Vincent Soilemthang Vaiphei, and then the Telegram channel link hale description ang pwede ka here in the video description. So please, if you want to know anything about my detailed strategy, about what book I used, how I prepared for my mains, how I prepared for my interview, how I prepared for my prelims, everything I wrote it down in a 7-page document. You can study it, and then you can even see whatever material I use for my entire journey. And then whatever notes I made, self notes I make, I have uploaded everything in my Telegram groups. You can please go into my Telegram group, and then in the file section, you can go and download everything which I had made. Thank you.
Vincent nang ngai zong na ne khai khat be be high school life college life in
Ai, kanai kai. College
ni
life.
khamo. So you at least you have some experience more. With this, we'll add in a good note. Kipa hoi ma main Vincent. Invite kang bolate kana nang accept PR inam meet mo. Inam meet ADL ki hona pada through our discussion. I hope that at least someone will get motivated even for a short duration. So igamnya na mandingin nangzong desa nato imi sa lamma main ngen pain lan chin ma. We'll hope for the invitation. Kipa hoy lungdam hoy
Kele
have
kaki
a
pai. Thank you so much, sir.
successful career ahead. Lungdam.
Kaki pai.